Hey everyone, Chalk here, and today I've got a pretty big video for you. I've had a lot of requests to do a review on this guy, and just so happened to get it for my birthday, so perfect. I'm even wearing Buzz Lightyear socks for this video, which is a Woody unboxing. I should have thought that through. Anyway, I should start by saying that he has been taken out of the box before by the previous owner, so I can remove him and then put him back in the box. They just kept all the packaging stuff. This is going to be a longer video than usual because I'm going to look at the box as well as the toy inside. But we should probably get him out of the box first. So, alright, here he is. So, as I showed before, you can take his hat out, which we'll be looking at later. And I'm very glad that the owner kept all of the original packaging. But yeah, let's take him out of the box. Okay, so I've unscrewed that and taken this off. So, should be able to just... There he is! Oh my god, I've never taken him out of the box, and just to feel him in my hands, it's an honor! Okay, let's look at the box before we get too overexcited. Front of the box, run-of-the-mill packaging, very 90s. I'm loving the cloud pattern. When you pull a string, he says 5 whole phrases. Wow! It was the 90s. And they've actually written the phrases here, so that's nice. Obviously, there's a try me for the pull string here, which goes into the back, which is good. And along with the cloud pattern, you've got Andy's bed, which, you know, is a nice addition. They didn't have to add that, but I'm glad they did. We've also got a PNG of Woody down here next to the Toy Story logo, and a choking hazard warning. Great. Also, a very retro Thinkway Toys logo, which is quite funny to see. Now, speaking of choking hazards, they did actually change the pull string ring on the Woody doll, which used to be smaller and more movie accurate, but they made it larger so it's less of a choking hazard for children. So technically, second edition of the doll, but we're going to ignore that. It was still made in 1995. Back to the box. If we look at the side, we've got the same PNG, but it's just his head, and we've got this sheriff ring around it, which kind of reminds me of the Disney Store box. I'll put that on the screen. The cloud pattern continues, just says Talking Woody, and the other side is the same. Now for the back. We've got this strange looking picture of the Buzz Lightyear figure. I think this may be a prototype. Pretty weird that they put that on the back of the box. I'm not sure. If you do know, let me know in the comments. That'd be greatly appreciated. But here is the original size of the pull string now. Whoa! Sorry about that, folks. But here is the original size of the pull string. And if you look, it is larger on this doll. But this is the old doll. So, yeah. Also, he used to look a lot more vibrant than he looks now. But he's an old doll, so it's fine. We've got a PNG of Buzz Lightyear and Woody here. The same PNG of Woody that was used on the front of the box. Now, I'm not sure if the Buzz Lightyear figure uses this PNG or whatever. I know it is a slightly different box. I'll put it on screen. But I do like how they're standing on the shapes. It really helps make them stand out a bit more. It's also very 90s. I'm also loving the character descriptions here. We've got Woody character description, which I'm not going to read, and the same for the Buzz one. But it's just nice that they're there. And obviously we got Disney, the logo, and basically the same thing on the front. It's a very consistent box. And that's about it. It's a very nice box, and I'm glad to actually have the box in of itself. But now, we can get to the meat of the video. The Woody. It always sounds wrong when I say that sort of thing. Now this Woody, along with having a different pull string, also does not have the wires in his arms, which the original one did. Now this one is just floppy, it's less posable, but I do not mind, because technically that's more movie accurate. But as we always do, let's start from the boots and go all the way up to the head and talk about this Woody doll in detail. Now, the boots, they look broken, but I swear they're not. So usually Woody has this star thing on the back of his boots. You'll know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Let me get an example. Okay, I found my custom Woody doll, and as you can see, he's got the star things on the end of his boots, which these ones do not. Now, it's not broken, they just did not include them on the original. The colour of the boots are pretty good. I think they match the hat fairly well, although the hat could be slightly discoloured. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a nice warm brown. There's not much to say about it. As for the rest of the detailing, pretty good. As you can see, they've got the markings there, the cactus on the side. What I will say though is this is supposed to be yellow, not gold. And I just checked on the back of the box to make sure I'm not making a fool of myself, and yeah, that's definitely yellow, so it's strange that a lot of Woody dolls make that mistake. On the bottom, there is no Andy for some reason. I'm not sure if they wanted you to write your own name, make it your own. I'll not be doing that. This is a vintage doll, I'm not going to deface it. The jeans are not real denim, nor do they look like it. Well, maybe slightly, but no, they're alright. It's just printed on blue, striped denim material. I don't know how to describe it. The material itself is the same as the shirt, which is alright. I like consistency in materials with my Woody dolls. I mean, most Woody dolls don't even have real denim jeans anyway, so I'm not going to slate this one for that. But what I will say about the legs and this Woody doll as a whole is he's quite chubby, as you can see. Arms, legs, stomach, he's very overstuffed. Don't really know why. It definitely makes this Woody doll a lot more charming, but he's not really got the flop that he needs. Speaking of, considering the flop should be here at the knees, why is this blue? It's inexcusable. You got it right there on the crotch area, what the fuck? But you couldn't get it right here. I mean, even that is technically orange stitching, but it should be yellow stitching on the knees. It's not difficult. As you can see, the holster here, it's a slightly different material to the belt, which is why it is a bit discolored, and I believe the same thing happened for the hat, which is fine, it's an old doll. The holster is fairly accurate. I think it needs to be a little bigger, possibly, and obviously the ruby should be an actual ruby and not painted on, but again, no Woody doll has done that, so this one's fine. What I will say about the holster is, though, it does swivel a little bit, which is, you know, really cool, because a lot of Woody dolls don't have that feature. So, thank you 1995 Woody. As for the buckle, should be yellow, not gold, but I get you want to make things stand out, and it is consistent with the boots. Now for the torso area. Technically, this vest should be right here and right here, but he's way too overstuffed, so he's just got a lot of squares. I'm going to use the box to show how it should look. See, 2 squares, these 2, and then they've just got an extra 3 here. Like I said, it's charming that he's so fucking fat, but it is inaccurate. As for the vest, a lot of them yellow over time, but nah, this one has stayed like pure white, so I'm very glad for the owner to have kept this in such good condition. The star badge is really high up, like on his shoulder, and I have no clue why. The star as a whole is the correct color. I mean, it's pretty shiny as well, so I'll give it that. All of the spheres are there, so it's not broken or anything. And I do think the sheriff should be a different font. The letters are very thin, but very minor nitpick. The buttons also are not scratched at all, which is very nice, and although they should be paralyzed, yeah, it's the right color. The arms are also just as overstuffed as the legs, but that's fine. But, here we go. Finally, something movie accurate. Open hand. I do know quite a few Woody dolls have done this, but it's just nice to see it when they do it, because not even the Signature Collection did it. Movie accurate, open hands, good job 95 Woody. The bandana is technically the wrong color and it should be red, and I genuinely don't know if it was this maroon / burgundy back in the day or if it's become that over time. It's fine though. But what I will say is that the bandana is a little bit large and you should be able to see his neck, and you can't really. As part of the torso, I suppose we should finally talk about the pull string, and by talk about it I mean let it talk for itself.
You're my favorite deputy. Yeehaw, cowboy! There's a snake in my boots. Howdy, partner. My name's Woody. You're my favorite deputy.
Lovely. Now that is, of course, Jim Hanks's voice and not Tom Hanks. For some reason he sounds really high-pitched, and I don't know if that's just because he was younger then, or they pitched it up for the voice box, or it's just old, I don't know. Either way, it's very amusing. Alright, let's finally talk about this man's head. He's got a very nice, teethy grin, which, technically, for Woody in toy mode, is not accurate. But, there is no toy mode Woody, that is a normal doll. So there you go. His eyes are, yeah, fairly detailed. Probably a slightly wrong color, they're looking more hazel than warm brown, which is what I would describe them to be. But I'm kind of nitpicking there. Usually I don't understand why they have the eyelids over Woody, because he doesn't usually have that. He usually has more open eyes, as depicted on this box. But they're fine. The nose isn't scratched or anything, which is really nice to see. And yeah, looks proportionate. The mouth has some paint scratches. I don't know how to describe it, but the painting isn't done as good as it could be. But it's not seen for a distance, so I don't really care. The eye painting though is really good. Sometimes on the later Woody dolls they paint outside the sculpt, which is bad, and they haven't done that here, so good job. The eyebrows are, yeah, alright. Slightly different colour to the hair, which isn't accurate, but I'll allow it. They're also a little bit thick, but I'll allow it. Oh, also head bobble. As for the head as a whole, it is a little bit probably fatter than it should be, but this whole Woody is, so meh. There's no hairlines or anything because it's the first Woody doll ever made that I'm gonna add the fucking hairlines. But yeah, I would say it looks like Woody, despite them not having the 3D sculpts that are like made with computers that they have now. I don't know, they're just more accurate now, they look better. This is a more vintage, charming sculpt. I like it, basically. We're gonna talk about the hat now. This hat has, thinking about it, definitely been discolored, but it's fine. Now, something I like about this is they held it in the box with plastic, which I don't do anymore. They do it with the fucking wiring. Wait, where's the wire? Oh shit. Alright, don't worry, I found it. Yeah, they hold it in with this and have like 2 holes at the top or back. It's shit. Just use plastic like they did back in the day. But no, this hat doesn't have any holes, and that's good. It does have the Disney trademark there, which obviously I'd prefer it if it was inside the hat, but whatever. Obviously this isn't real string, it's just, you know, part of the plastic, but that's fine, at least they have it around the hat, you know what I mean? The hat band is there, it's just not sculpted or anything, it's painted, but it is nice to see it. Shape of the hat is pretty good, and it fits on his head pretty well, I'd say. Looks maybe a little bit big, I'd say, but not bad. And fits on his head very well, doesn't fall off, so that's always nice. Alright, well, I'm gonna need to put the Woody back in his box now because that's how I'm gonna be displaying him. However, the box is not fitting on my shelf, it's too tall, so I'm gonna need to expand, get more shelves. Great. Thanks for watching, I really enjoyed making this video and finally getting a hold of this amazing Woody to add to the collection, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Bye. That was actually unintentional.